And an hour with me will probably be enough for you, Tom.
I don't know. I feel like you do, Sarah. I'm so tired of it all.
Tom, I'm so pissed.
What you got for me?
I'm just livid, boo. I mean, I'm livid just across the board. I mean, we're headed into ritual sacrifice season on fire.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. Did anybody else notice that?
No, you're right. You're completely right.
Begins on Sunday, right? March 1st, right? Sunday, isn't it already? Or is it March 15th? I don't know.
I had to look that up.
It's March.
It's an Ides of March for your ass coming.
Yeah, it is. And they've got it all set up,
Oh, Tom. And what we've been talking about the past, decade, give or take a few years for each of us. And it's like everything's just falling down into place at one time.
I know.
And I actually called Lisa, asked her to call me on the way home. And I was like, look, Lisa, I got to tell you, I'm in panic attack mode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I literally was standing in the kitchen earlier today and my legs just started shaking.
Okay, here it is. Okay, it's the 40-day the 40-day the 40-day season of sacrifice. Oh, what? Oh, that's so stupid. The 40-day season of sacrifice from March 19th or 22nd to May 1st.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, the Ides of March into April.
Oh, it's interesting if you look between how they're going to let the markets come down over the next week, how they're going to build up this virus.
It's already down.
It is. Oh, yeah, it got crushed, And, people think, well, they blew it up. It can let off some. What's going on there is not something that is just going to fix itself. You have an inverted yield curve. You have a massive bubble that they
propped up. Yes.
Yeah, that they did on purpose, and this fool's been brought in to take the blame. I actually thought we were going to get 4 more years of it, but we might not, They might be ready now.
Now what I'm looking at, Tom, I'm with you on that. I don't think we're going to get a bit longer. I think that this virus was brought in for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what you think about it, it's towards the New World Order end. And now to me, basically we've got Trump and it's billionaire versus billionaires, what it's looking like it's going to line up as with Bloomberg. And it's basically, is it going to be totalitarianism or fake utopia?
Right. That sounds great, doesn't it? I mean,
either way, just fucking shoot me now.
I know. And it's, whether or not people. Yeah, well, right, that's true. Be careful what you wish for. It's that crazy because no matter what people think of this virus, whether it's psyop, whether a bioweapon, whether it's real, what everybody with the details, the bottom line is what they're going to do with it and what they're setting it up for. And we know, like you said, you're talking quarantines and vaccines and fear and all of the stuff that leads to what they want to do in the end. To me, I don't know. Like I said, it came out of nowhere for me because I didn't expect it yet, but I knew it was coming. We all did, So
yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if you call it a download or a moment of clarity or whatever a year ago this time, and I saw it. 2020, they've lied to us about 21, Agenda 21, and it's they're restricting travel. They've got some fucking task force, and the thing that's so, it's so ambiguous. It's, you keep hearing, this isn't going anywhere, but the deaths are so low. They could have used something so much more deadly and virulent.
Sure. But this way, they can use the common cold, the common flu for everybody to get those. Oh, my God, do I have it? Because the symptoms, they've spit out are just
Or they even say you can be asymptomatic. So they can just literally grab your fucking ass off the street.
That's correct.
And say you're a carrier.
That's correct. And I'm sure it'll be, I guess we can call it political dissident disease, because I'm sure we know who those people will be, and it's, whatever. I'm not doing all this shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
it ain't happening.
I've been watching the news at least a few times a week just to see what the hell they're selling.
Right.
Last night, and I think this is when I just kind of lost it. They showed this new task force, this new capture task force in China. And they took a big ass net, like a butterfly net, but a big human-sized one.
Mm-hmm.
And were catching people over the head with a fucking net.
What?
Yes. Yes. They're all in their, five suits and what the fuck ever. And
was it because I saw something similar where there was a car that pulled up and the car went to drive and they threw the spikes out, and when the person got out, they hooked them with some kind of net over the head.
What?
And that's what they want. They definitely, if they didn't want us to see that, it wouldn't be on there. They want that in people's heads.
Yeah, that's true.
And to me, like you said, it just pisses me off. That's all it really does. I don't fear this virus, and I don't fear what comes to me in the end. But what I do fear is that people out of my control are going to do exactly what they're programmed to do, which leaves all the rest of us in.
They picked the perfect thing because nobody wants to die in a hospital bed with a bunch of freaks with masks and suits on around them. It's like the ultimate fear.
Right.
And we've talked about a lot too, is a lot of people think you're one and done in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates a huge fear for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And so then they work off your fear. Well, then you've got neighbors telling on neighbors. And,
Yep.
And it just seems like they've done all these tests and thrown all this shit out there, and nobody's said a fucking word.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yes, please just take all of our few freedoms that we have. And,
Right. And there's nobody I speak to in the world that buys this, but, I don't know about you guys, is people around you that are buying this or.
Well, yes. I'm getting prepared.
No, I mean that buy the virus, that buy that it's real, that buy that.
I'll tell you what, Tom. I do, but I don't buy how they're selling it.
Mm-hmm.
What I think, and this is like I told Lisa, my educated guess, my educated opinion. It's not an ignorant opinion. I've done research.
Mm-hmm.
They've sold bonds on this.
Yeah.
They sold bonds in China on the coronavirus.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, have you seen that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. What I think this thing is, I think this is basically, do you remember, Tom, the Vril Society from Hitler days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the Vril Gesellschaft.
Yeah.
Right. With the parasitic worm that goes in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I ran up on a guy who, I think I told y'all this, but I'll tell you again. He had a very strong microscope and he looked at water, and there were these red parasitic worms. So in the rainwater. So that's where I think it's coming from. I think we're being sprayed with this shit.
Yeah, I have no doubt that they're spraying us with something to do with, right. I agree there, definitely.
And that hooks into, remember, all the research Lisa's done with the bio internet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this, and your weaker people, I think, will be more susceptible to it. But I think it's a fucking takeover. I think it's body snatching, and I'm really pissed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm really pissed. I think this is the big move on so many levels.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's the beginning of everything, from getting ready to, like you said, from the quarantines to the vaccines to the excuse for the stock market, for the excuse for the change to the wackier side of government, even though it's both wacky, but to the extreme, more of the extreme, noticeably, or now they pretend to be the good guys and people buy it, where, because they're so in your face now with everything. I mean,
yes,
it's just,
they are,
and it's just like, even people that don't want to care or didn't notice things before they're buying into the propaganda. But my point being is, they know stuff's wrong, so they plan to direct that narrative, as they're also heavily talking about censoring again people that talk about vaccines, and even making it a criminal offense. I've saw some articles that they're doing. So they really want to crack down on anybody saying anything. Why, to me, like, anybody that's speaking out about anything valid in this area, the more people that do it, whether it's a perfectly produced show, or, what I mean, just talking like we're doing, or whatever it is, now's the time, because it's they're clamping down on it.
Well, right, because and one thing is, they've still got the bioweapon issue out there, because the White House did mention they were looking into it. So they can also use it as national security. If they do decide to go the bioweapon route, then that can be considered an act of war.
And Sarah, remember that act that we talked about in December, where they were like talking about like funding that where they were like doing the whole basically, like, they were doing the whole let me look it up. I know what I'm talking about, but
do you mean the vaccination bill?
No, not the vaccination bill. It's okay. Keep on talking. I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not really. Keep on talking.
Okay.
Okay. Was it to do with censorship, or?
No. It was one that I talked about in November and December. It was a bill.
The bill was A99. The one that I'm talking about. I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about.
But anyway, so we know that they have the executive, order with the NDAA, that whenever they do decide, martial law is right there written out for them.
Yeah, this one. The Engineering, Biology, Research and Development Act of 2019. That one. Yes. That HR 4374.
Right. Right.
So that's the one I was thinking of.
Good one to bring up.
What does that get into? What does that cover? I mean, I'm just curious. Do you remember?
No. It's okay. I have it right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep on talking. But basically, yeah.
Basically makes bioweaponry legal. Having to do with the bio-internet, like we've talked about so much. You find it?
Found something.
But anyway, it's all lining up to where we are right now. It was like that came out right before this Wuhan bullshit virus.
Yep.
And then you have the A99 bill in New York, to where they, can detain you. We read that one back in December, I think.
Yep.
and put you up, and it's just all in play. It's so much, it almost boggles even an awakened mind.
It's true. It's true that they've been able to do this and get all these things in there while people still don't understand that it's in there, that they think, and almost hope that because this is so, again, it's in your face to me. I hope it's in your face to other people, but that people start to go, oh, wait a friggin' minute here, I always kind of hope, because, I mean, if anything's going to change, it's got to change at some point, and whether it's going to be for good or bad, it's coming. You know what I mean? They're going to do A, B, and C. So I always still hope for positive reaction from people.
Well, I saw something interesting, and I'm with you on that, Tom. I mean, because hopelessness, that's an ugly state.
Yeah, I've been there. It is.
That's where they want us. And the fact of the matter is, with natural law, this is so evil that it really defies comprehension.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so evil that one has a hard time even wrapping one's mind around it.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, if that amount of evil can exist, then the opposite and equal exists. So,
yeah, I agree.
I just, they haven't won yet.
Yep.
And we're not all taken over.
Right.
And
right.
There's no good in the world, and I'm rooting for that, for the birthing of consciousness, and team. Where's the help?
I know, right? I mean, like you said, me too, because it can happen and then pick up exponentially.
Right.
Because we don't know how many people are quietly awake, just sitting at home, pissing and moaning. You know what I mean? And they're not talking about it on here. So we don't know. I mean,
I think we all we've discussed. We know this is supernatural.
Yes.
This is not just human beings.
No, I agree.
And people have different names for it. We've gone through all that. Archon, demonic, satanic, blah, blah. Put a bow around it. What the fuck ever.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. Exactly.
It's not human. It's not a human entity. They aren't terraforming the earth for a bunch of human beings to live here. It's already formed for us. So this entity existing, to me, is proof that a good entity exists. And anyway, I think that has a lot to do with what they're trying to block. I think that's why we see the fucking with the magnetosphere like they've been doing, the fucking hadron colliders everywhere. I think they're trying to block our help.
Yeah.
There was a really crazy picture of it, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it was taken around, I don't know, it was Alaska, somewhere around the North Pole, but it looked like a cosmic egg at the what do you call those things? The Aurora Borealis.
Oh, okay.
Well, in the middle of the Aurora Borealis is this huge, like, white egg-shaped plasma sphere, for lack of a better term. And I'm just going, go team, come on.
Yes.
I mean, we need help.
Yeah, I know.
We really do. If these evil fucking entities exist, and there's got to be some good guys. Could we call them in, please?
I know. And I hope that, more and more of them actually exist even here and now within people than we realize, because, they do only want us to see the negative, because like you said, you get into that state of pissed off, fear, anger, hopelessness, whatever, and then, you kind of stay there, and it affects the rest of your day, your mood, your attitude. So I constantly am trying to pull myself up. I'm always trying to laugh, and I'm always trying to, but this past week, when I've seen everything going on this week, I'm like, you just got to be shitting me. I mean,
yes, exactly.
Very hard week.
It has been.
I mean, I've had teeth pulled and had more fun.
Yes, me too.
Exactly.
Me too. You know.
I mean, just sign me up for another, tooth pulling. I mean, whatever you can think of, gum scraping. I mean, just what the fuck ever be better than this shit.
Yeah, get your mind off of the bad things for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would. You know, it is. It's that crazy. You know, and then I get very unhappy with the censorship. You know, being a victim of it myself. I do. I get. I guess I just. I like I say. I want to believe that people are going to do the right thing. But I've been in so many situations in my life where things that I've gone out of my way to either stand up for, most of which, were just because they were right and they really didn't have anything to do with me personally, whether at work or whatever it may have been. And most of the time, 99% of the time, people are with you until, they get stepped on themselves and then you're the lone mouthpiece. And I just don't want that to happen again because
Either that or, the people who look at you and go, you can't say that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people have said that shit to me. And I'm like, so fucking really? You just sit around and know this shit, but no, you can't say it and you're like okay with that? But freedom, but America. I mean, can somebody just back up and explain that fucking shit to me? Because I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know how we got there. It's complete antithesis of what we are as a people.
Oh, you can't say that. Bitch, I'm at my house.
It's the First Amendment. Got to the very first one,
I mean, right. I know, but this good old boy society that we have all been talking about for how many fucking years now? And it's known. I mean, it really is. I mean, I remember being a kid and being like, I know I can't say that, but why, And it really is just fucking ingrained into you.
Yeah.
It's like a dog where they put that fucking shock collar on it and there's the wire over there. And he doesn't know why, but he can't go over there. It hurts.
And they're trained to, if anybody does dare say anything, they're trained to react in the negative, like, ooh, whoa, he's and all the things you're saying are right, just, true, moral, fair. You know what I mean? Nobody seems to give a shit about that,
Or like, like you were saying, or you end up standing there alone and people are just looking at you and you're like, huh, what?
Yeah. They'll have your back in the corner, and then when it comes time to actually say something, crickets all around you. You know what I mean? And I've done that so many times. I've seen it, and there have been times where that hasn't happened. So, they're small in number, but so that's why I'm kind of hoping. But truly, that's if I fear anything, I would say it's that, that we're going to fail because. The reality of it is, on with the next life. I'll do whatever it takes till I'm gone from here. But I don't want us to fail. I mean, I really don't.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it just takes a small group, of dedicated, and I feel like that's still a possibility.
Yeah. You're right.
As the temperature increases, as everybody, I mean, if we get to a point to where it's like, okay, well, they've taken our houses. We're not going to, well, what have we got to lose but to come together and then go, okay, well, hey, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Even if it is just the people who have been talking on Twitter that do fucking get it.
No, you're right, because it could take a few worst case scenarios to get a better case scenario, it's possible, So, because right now, like you said, the people that do get it, everybody's kind of spread out all over the place. Most people do feel, I don't want to use the word alone. I know I'm not alone, but, it can get, you can feel isolated, I guess.
Well, we're separated, and it's very frustrating because, it's just, the water's getting hot.
Yeah, it is,
The water's getting hot.
It is,
Just a tad.
Hot tubs, hot.
It's okay. I'm going to give a little anecdote here. When I was growing up, I did we hand wash dishes, and my mom would always make it like really, really super fucking hot. Right. So whenever I for the dishes and stuff. So there's regular hot, and then there's mom hot, which is really, really fucking hot. So it's not just regular hot, it's really fucking hot. So this is like mom hot, like it's past like times 2. So
Right.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to get worse. Even I don't know. I guess I just imagined more people going bullshit by now. But it's just not happening.
Yeah.
we all did, to be
I
honest.
think that we're all a bit in mourning over that.
We
Yeah,
are.
I mean,
Yeah.
really. I mean, you,
agree.
Lisa, countless other people, and thank you to all of you
Thanks,
that
Sarah. You
are
too.
listening, that have dedicated hours and days of your life, weeks, hell, months, years,
Yep.
to trying to bring awareness.
hmm
And it's heartbreaking.
It is. It's. But like you said, there is a lot of people that have done this. Have been either maybe taken down or but a lot of people have tried, and we all have our ups and downs where we kind of disappear for a while, but there is a lot of us, and when this all really starts to go down, I don't see, so many people caving so easily, which is why this virus thing is so interesting, because if they're going to cave to anything, it's that kind of stuff,
In the absence of the distractions, when the shit hits the fan, people, your voice, Lisa's voice, all of you out there, your voice will mean more. There are going to be people who are going to go, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
that's one reason why right now I have to deal with my own bullshit.
Agreed.
Right now, because I can't be of service if my legs are shaking and my voice is shaking.
Right.
I've had to just sit this last few weeks out and honestly just, come to terms with where we are. So that I can go back out there and be a positive force.
Well, I agree with that. I think that's important.
I just,
because if
I wouldn't have had anything positive to bring to the table.
Right.
And we're human. I mean, if you can look at this and just really think this is another day in Wake Up Land and Trutherville, then I fucking feel for you.
True.
Yeah.
Because we're at a precipice here.
Yeah. And like you said, if we're not, mentally ready after all of this, and even though everything we've known, you get here and it's like, okay, you got to come to grips with where this may go, where this could, but
right. Mourning the fact that we couldn't wake enough people.
Yeah.
Getting our houses in order. I mean, we've really been, what do we have? What do we need?
Yeah. And I do need a few things still, I can't believe I still do, but I do,
Oh, hey, Tom, that reminds me. I'll try to find the video to share with you, but basically, Sarah shared this with me. It's basically there's a where you can heat your room with tea lights and those terracotta potting. You know what I mean, those pots. Thank you. So there's a YouTube video out about that, and it helps heat your house for a long time.
Oh yes.
Right.
Please do. Share that link. Yes, please.
That's a good one.
Because all this kind of stuff, I think. Sorry, I'm coughing. Even.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to let one out. I'm going to mute and then I'm going to cough. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, that feels much better.
Get all out, Tom.
But even when I first started kind of learning how this, we'll just say just the economic crash was going to go, there was 6 months built into us learning of, after the crash, 6 months of Mad Max. It's always been talked about that when all this happens, people that don't have the things they need and they're in the stores fighting for the last things on the food shelves and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to be involved in all of that. You know,
Right.
I want to be home with whatever I need, and if anybody comes to steal my shit, you ain't getting it. You know what I mean? Ready to protect it. You know,
Plus you can't yank you off the street if you're not on the fucking street.
exactly, and that's exactly right. You know? But see,
And that's where, and you've talked about that. That's where we draw the line. I mean, I'm not getting on a goddamn bus.
no, and that's what I was going to say. That's where I just I see the fear that people might cave into, and then, like you said, not only turn around out of their own fear, but start pointing their fingers at the you're not for it, you're non-vaccinated, all this shit, and it's just I don't want us fighting each other. I want us to understand who the quote unquote enemy is, and to know that the lie is the enemy, and to stand in truth.
And also align with natural law, and as a practical thing, one guy that's really helped me with prepping in general, even like with the mindset and everything, is he's a guy from Argentina. Well, he's moved from Argentina since then, but basically in 2001 they had an economic collapse.
Yeah.
And he basically lived through it. And his name is the blog is ferfal.blogspot.com. I believe it's so basically furfowl, and his last name is Aguirre, Aguirre or something. I'm butchering it, but Aguirre.
I've seen a lot of his posts, and it's real world. It's no fluff. It's like, this is what we had to do. And,
okay, I would like to check that out.
This is how we survived. And, Lisa and I have told everybody repeatedly, you walk over food in your yard, learn what it is. Dandelions. One thing that's really important, and I think people will have trouble with, is, and it's hard to believe, but scurvy. So pine needles. Everybody has access to pine trees. Pine needles. You can take them and boil them and drink the water in the pine needles, and you'll get the vitamin C you need. So there's just little tricks like that. I don't know. I'm just fucking pissed. Okay. It's all so stupid.
It is
unnecessary. And it's like you said, Tom, with Mad Max. I mean, if we sat here, we could probably name 200 fucking flicks that have shown us that our generation has been marked with an X. And marked the fuck out.
I mean, tons of examples in Hollywood. It's but like you said, those kind of tricks of understanding what's around us, and if enough people are ready. I mean, of course, people are going to be out fighting over scraps and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but if enough people, were at least ready, a little bit economically, even like you said, food, water, and then time goes by, and there's a little bit of this knowledge in their head, how, like you said, how fucking stupid all this is. You just never know if the vibe's going to change, and I'm hoping to make it to that point. And again, if it doesn't, like you said, I ain't getting on that fucking bike. You better get a big butterfly net to put on my fucking head, because I'm not going to just stand there and let you, like that video, put it around my neck, because that kind of looked. Some of them, the one I saw, looked like they were, and I'm not saying it isn't happening, but some of it they're kind of doing in ways to scare us, and whether or not they're faked or just training exercises. Training exercises are a little different than people over here in real life that are saying, I ain't getting on that bus.
Well, you put aside the pandemic. Let's don't even talk about that. Let's just say the collapse of the economy. Okay. We've all talked about the FEMA camps, the buses, the da 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 da. It's not. We've known it was coming. It's just really hard when it's right there in your fucking face.
And knowing how easy it is to resist, because there's tons more of us than them.
Yeah, make them pull the big guns out on you at least.
Right,
But
right.
that's not what I'm seeing. Sadly, I've heard this referred to by some spiritual people, some astrological people. I think A Plain Truth has mentioned it. 2020 is the eye of the needle.
Okay.
We're passing through the eye of the needle. We're going through. We've been in Kali Yuga. Basically, December 21st of 2012 was the end of the Maya, and the Maya is the illusion.
Right.
So that was the end of that world.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're coming into the age of Aquarius, which, they've about made me fucking hate.
Mm-hmm.
The age of Aquarius. I mean, I remember I hated that fucking song when I was little. I mean, I hated it. That shit would come on and I couldn't turn that thing fast enough. But, now I know why. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So basically, we're going from the Iron Age, which is LOL, the Dark Ages. Oh yeah, we're so smart, bitch. You've been living in the Dark Ages, okay?
Uh-huh.
So we're headed into the Bronze Age, and that's like the dawn of the light.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how it kind of gets colder right at dawn, and it's like you can see a little light, but you can't feel the warmth from the sun yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think kind of that's where we are. And so if we can just look at it that way and try not to give into the darkness.
Yeah. No, it's true, because people are definitely trying to keep us there. They want to resist that change in a
Well,
for a
fuck that.
positive way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Right.
we'll just forget about. Okay, we can't ignore them completely, but I mean, like, seriously, they're just stupid. We know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, some people are just so stupid. I mean, like, I'm not trying to paint everyone as stupid, but like this week, like I've had to really focus on myself, and it's like you just have to just have tunnel vision. You just have to I'm not saying you guys aren't doing that. I'm just ranting on my point, on my point of view. It's like,
sure.
It's like some things are just so stupid. Like, I just have to okay, that's so stupid. I can't even it doesn't even justify a response.
Right.
Because okay, what can I do to make things better for me? And then how can I fill my cup? So because if I don't take care of myself, I can't I can't help anyone else.
That's right. You can't fill and we all had to kind of learn that. You can't give from an empty vessel. So this may be that time where we've got to fill up, so that when that time comes, we do have a full vessel to serve from.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, I know both of you guys. Anybody you can help, you will.
Yeah.
But we've got to be strong enough to be a beacon, to be a light. So I just really feel like, at least for me, like you were talking about, Lisa, it's not coming from a selfish place. It's like, okay, y'all don't see it. So let me get over here and get my shit tended to.
Right. Right. Like you said, it's not a selfish thing. It's actually the opposite if you think about it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not saying it's selfish. It's definitely not narcissistic.
No, I mean all of the depletion that all that depletion comes from trying to get this out and helping others, and then kind of dealing with, like you said, some of the negatives where it didn't. This didn't get responded to. That didn't. So it's not like oh, that's it. I'm taking time for myself. It's no. In order to keep doing this, and in order to become positive again, and be in a place to do good work, as opposed to just coming on and not being in a good place. And you need to do that, and everyone does, because really, if people would do that and take time to even examine themselves deeper and deeper, and that's really the true way out of this mess, because from that comes everything, But people just don't want to do that, and those are the things in real life that I see people where you say things to them and then that cognitive dissonance comes out, and you can see that they don't want to shatter anything that will upset their daily life, their daily way of thinking, their daily. So when this thing comes to their doorstep, you still hope that seed is planted and you'll get a different reaction than you would if we didn't plant the seed. It just so it's ongoing.
It is. Yeah.
So it's never over, is what I'm saying. It's never over.
It's never over. And for what it's worth, also, I was just looking up. Perfal actually put up an article today about how do you prepare for coronavirus. Just follow these 6 steps, and he brings up a lot of good points.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw.
Check it out.
I like that guy. It's Joe Embriani from the Fullerton Informer.
Oh, Fullerton Informer. Okay.
When it comes to the understanding of this virus and how it really can work and what they're looking to do, he's really, and he's been talking about it for years and years and years, just calling it virus X. I like him when it comes to. I mean, like I said, everybody's got their things where. Some things I don't agree with, you know what I mean? And that's the way we should be, we should, question our own things. But I've learned a lot of things that I didn't realize from him, that when you look into things he's talking about when it comes to the involvement of the 5G aspects and how, that can be and will be a way to create symptoms in people. But that right now, we're really only talking about that one place where it started.
They can do it at will.
And that's
what. So, they send it through the tower. It activates what's sitting latent in probably all of humanity due to the spray operation. Like you were talking about, Tom. Basically, we already have this fucking coronavirus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, it's so. But I like him on that. I think he did a good job with the fires too.
He did. Yeah, he does. He does.
But there's a girl, and this girl does some awesome research. In fact, I was really taken aback. I was like, oh, this is how people feel when they read my shit. I'm like, this hurts a little.
Well, who is she, Hun?
I'm so sorry, people. Her name is Annie Logical Uncensored. I found her through A Plain Truth. And she has a blog, Annie Logical Uncensored. And she's just done a fantastic job of documenting the 5G.
I think I found her. I think her website is like Annie Logical Uncensored. It's VIGILIAE.org. Yeah. Corona enabler of a new order.
Yes, her work. Everything she says, she vets, improves. So that's really she's just done a remarkable job as far as researching and getting information out on this virus.
Okay, I just pulled it up myself. I see it now.
Yeah, read that, Tom, and thank me for your gray hairs.
Well, the many gray hairs that I have already are about to get some friends, I guess.
Right. I sent it to my husband. One of her things, I think it was last week, and he was just like, I was like, "Did you finish that?" And he said, "Hell no, I got halfway through it." What else do I need to know, Slam?
And it's true. This stuff sucks. It really is. You start reading it, you're just like, Jesus God,
Yeah.
And all these towers that are flipping through here that are, on her front page I'm surrounded by all of these towers that look like that,
Yeah.
They've gone up in the past year or two all around me.
We knew they were weapons. Why wouldn't they be bioweapons?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
like all the shit. It's like, I don't know. It's like having a hypothesis versus seeing it live and in your face.
It's true. It really is true. And
It's like it's like all you could imagine times like a million, and you're just like, what the fuck is this place?
Hey, Sarah. I can't think people's names.
Hey, you.
Hey, you over there. I think I found an article. Maybe you already read this about like those bonds that you mentioned about.
Yeah.
Because at that same website, she has a pandemic bonds and World Bank.
Yep.
And she mentions the Pandemic Emergency Financing Faculty Framework.
Yep.
Which collaborated with WHO, which is the World Health Organization, not the WHO, not the musical group, but
right.
So
yeah, they talk about all that stuff.
Of like 159 billion, or not billion, million. And it was actually the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And Wuhan, I think that it was sold for. And they also, this was like, oh, well, that's just great. I think it's mentioned in that same article, Lisa, about named U.S. storms, so climate change, quote unquote, climate being changed, as we well know. And so the U.S. with named storms, it's like fucking Vegas or something with pandemics and storms that wreak havoc. So the UK and Canada was mentioned.
Yeah, the new policy, there's a sentence here. The new policy includes insurance for a U.S. named storm and an extreme mortality event in UK, Canada, and Australia.
Isn't that awesome?
No, it's lovely.
Vaccines, yeah. And they talk about vaccines too.
I mean,
this is huge.
It's criminal.
Zero comments.
Zero comments. People are too busy throwing up, after they're going.
Right.
It's insane. It's and they've been doing stuff like this for God. Now that they own the weather, really own it, they can do people. And that's the thing, that people don't really get how much control they have over all this,
Yeah, well, Carol over at Never Lose Truth, she's gotten on to the nanotech and how with the nanotech, I mean, they fucking move these clouds and shit.
Oh yeah.
I saw that nanotech come through here with that fucking quote unquote hurricane. Oh my God, buzzsaw winds indeed. Buzzsaw nanobots.
Yeah, the video. I can't even talk. The video that she's talking about is just talking natural biological processes taking over by EMF and lifelike nanos. I have new symptoms.
Yeah, like hell, if anybody's watching this that doesn't know what the hell you are being hacked, you are being taken over, body snatchers. You ever seen anything like that? Yes.
Yeah. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes, I mean, they've told us a gazillion different ways.
No, they have. They absolutely have. And it's just, I'm looking at it now, some of the things that, I would usually watch at night. And, if you don't watch Greg Manarino, the guy's just constantly, I watch him because, and I think I've told you before, I don't have any money in any of the stocks or anything like that, but I watch him for timing of things. And he talks about, when it's going up. The guy's never wrong. He's probably made a freaking fortune playing these markets. Every day he calls it right. And on Friday, before all this started, he talked and told his viewers, I've pulled everything out. Something isn't right, this and that. And then come Monday, this all happened. And he's trying to tell everybody else to get out. So he was saying yesterday, if they don't pull back after Trump talks last night, expect the bottom to fall out. And I'm just looking at the headline of his newest video, stocks get crushed. So because I didn't see what happened today, I guess they got crushed again today.
Yeah, didn't Trump just tell everybody to buy stocks?
He did. That's what I'm saying. It didn't work. People didn't. So, and look, they can prop it back up if they want. And that's what tells me that they're ready to you know, to do whatever it is they're going to do. Oh, now I'm looking. It dropped over 1,000 points today, huh?
Yeah, last I saw it was down 2,000.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's fucking.
No, it's okay.
Buy stocks, you know, take your retirement money and buy stocks, and then they plummeted. But he's some kind of fucking hero.
Yeah, you know.
With a 666.
Hey, Tom and Sarah.
Mm.
I'm looking at Carol's latest video about the coronavirus. Info coming fast, pointing to economic collapse, mass vaccination, centralized control. But I love in the summary she says, "This world we live, have no fear, but be prepared, everyone."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're there. Plain truth. I watched his video, and everybody, he's on it. I mean, his fingers on the pulse. I'm so glad he's back doing videos right now. And I mean, he's absolutely, I'll be thinking something and I'll go on there and go, oh, yes, thank you. And anyway.
That's Jamie, right? You're talking about Jamie. Yeah, no, he's good. I do. I like Jamie.
He's on it right now. I mean, he is just.
He's so, okay, this is so on it. Look at it. Okay. We were just talking about the season of sacrifice.
Yep.
Tom?
Yeah.
The video is COVID-19 to super spread in USA Inc. in 3 to 4 weeks time frame. Universal vaccine 6 months.
Yeah.
And on the like the when you bring up the video, it shows the season of sacrifice and the dates.
Yeah.
Of the different ones.
Exactly.
From Mark's presentations.
That's what I was
like right
Mark.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know he does. He does watch Mark. I've picked up on that before. And that was his video from today, right? Because I didn't watch it yet today. Okay.
Yeah, it says.
I caught it 5 minutes after he put it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it says it has 4,122 views as of right now.
Yeah.
See,
which is good.
And when I look at my notifications around where his popped up, because his popped up whatever time, like you said, I'm looking at 8 hours ago. You have Bix Weir talking about get your silver now, and then you got him talking about the Apple supply chain breaking. Then you have Greg talking about, the same thing with the stock market coming down. Then you have all these other people talking about pretty much all the same things coming out all around the same time. Like, I've never seen anything like that before. Usually, when stuff happens, I know some people talk about the same stuff, but it's not, everybody. Yeah, and everybody talking about, the same exact things, And in fact, I think Max Egan did one this morning on the coronavirus.
I mean, we're the head. We're in the eye of the needle.
Yeah.
And so it's everything we've talked about for the past, like we said, however long.
Billion years.
It feels like it. Yeah.
Let's just say billion years. Let's just have some humor. It's a billion years.
Yeah. And I mean, we're at that point. We're at Agenda 21, And knowing their numbers is a little fucking frightening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not afraid of death. That's not like my big thing. I care so much I care about people. I care about the earth. I care about animals. I care about the fucking water.
Mm-hmm.
I care about the air. And it's just absolutely a war on everything, on anything that has to do with life. And that just makes me madder than fucking hell.
Me too, and that's where, because like you said, it isn't about, being afraid to die. Look, most of us have been through so much hell. It's like, you know what I mean? Whatever. We've lived, we've done, So nobody's, what are we clinging on to? Upcoming slavery, and being microwaved in our homes. So it's not, it's all of the things that could be. And when that all of this is, people are allowing this to happen, but it is being done. It is being manufactured. It is being set up. It is being, and it just gets you so fucking mad, like
it's being done by a parasitical entity, a fucking not even from here. This is not your home.
Yeah.
And we have human collaborators, basically.
Oh yeah,
that are collaborating and selling out their fellow humans.
The farmers, I would call them. The human farmers. And how many times have they put that in our face? Like you said, the human collaborators. They've made so many different movies about. I think one of the Transformers movies was about that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of them since after the second one.
I think it was like the third or fourth one. I don't know. I don't know how many even have anymore.
I just watched this series, and I don't even know how I found it, but I was just like, I'm going to click on this shit. And it's called The Strain.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen that?
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Oh my God! You want to talk about disturbing? Jesus. Oh God. It's all of it. It's all of it in this one show.
Mm-hmm.
But with a little Hollywood thrown in.
Of course.
Yeah.
But basically, the German guy that's second to the master, and it's basically these parasitical entities that infect people with worms. I mean, parasites. It's unbelievable. But he says, how much better are you all? You sell out your own kind. How much better are you than we are? I mean, that's what people really need to look at.
It's true. It's true. And they sell out for nothing, all fake. Yeah. They're all being lied to. Just once this is done, I guess they're all going to walk arm in arm, and you know what I mean. With the no, they don't need you anymore. Once this is done, I don't know. I
just to take over your body. I mean, they might want your body.
Yeah, I mean, I can see this, coming to a point where it's almost like they want to manifest and rule openly, where they don't want to rule through hiding behind these fake ass families and Illuminati families.
Fake ass families,
yeah.
Fake ass. I want to share something real quick.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, I've been looking at fur fowls stuff again. I know I'm like a whore for fur fowl. I'm sorry. But anyways, he has a video called 12 items you want to buy and stockpile right now. Released a few days ago, and basically the list is like rice, lentils, or other beans, but lentils are best. Dry pasta, tomato sauce, olive oil, canned fruits and vegetables, tuna or other canned meats, tea or mate, coffee, salt, sugar, baby cereal food. Easy to prepare, feeds babies or sick people, high nutritional value, bonus multivitamins.
Oh, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a few ones.
The baby cereal thing is pretty smart.
Yeah. I want to get a few more things. I guess I need to do it now. I mean, I really don't know what. I mean, the only reason I don't have extra money laying around to just go out, but I need to just do it. I need to just
add. Lisa and I were talking about this earlier, and this is what we do. We add, 5 to 10 items to your grocery list.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't break your bank. You know what I'm saying? You're not going out and I'm going to go spend $500, and you get a little bit in at a time. It adds up.
Yeah. And I've done some of that. And I also have some of the dry storable food, the 6 months of food put away. Of course you need water for all that, of course, to cook it all. You know what I mean? I think you add water for every meal. I don't know how it,
Water is a huge, when we had that hurricane, that was issue number one.
Yeah. Because
we take water so for granted.
Yeah. Because no matter how much you buy, I mean, how are you going to buy 6 months worth of fucking water? I mean,
life straw too. I mean,
that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
A rain barrel. If you get a rain barrel or two and put it by your, on your downspouts, then you can use that for your gray water. To flush your toilets, to wash your dishes, and that sort of thing, and to wash your clothes, and that, then you don't get into your drinking water.
Good thinking, Lisa or Sarah. I didn't even think of that, because to me, all that rainwater is so tainted with, shit that we wouldn't drink it. But that makes sense. Use it for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Could boil it. I would boil it to wash my dishes. But,
boil it.
Flushing your toilet,
Yeah.
I don't know if people know that, but you can, if you fill up the back of the tank, you can flush your toilet again.
Right, by dumping it in, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these are all little things that That's why I say, like, I've got things, but I didn't get myself ready for this to be coming. Where if it was coming tomorrow, put it that way.
Yeah, and
It's
also,
overwhelming. It even for
Mhm.
people who, like you said, we've been prepping and doing it for years. When that final curtain comes down, and you starting to go, okay, wait, I don't have
Right.
this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like I've been doing. And I'm like, oh shit, I wanted to pick that up. Oh, I gotta grab that, and I feel like I need to do it like now.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's a bad plan
Yeah.
because, like there's too many people calling
Yeah,
it.
I
And
agree.
if it doesn't happen, we're going to see it to some degree this year.
Exactly. Then
By,
I got some stuff, that I
by
need.
next year, this time, I just wonder where we're sitting.
Yeah, I agree. I don't. I don't think things will look the same next year. At this point.
yeah,
That concerns me a bit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do. And if that is the case, I don't want to end up having known all of this for so long and then find myself going, oh, I didn't grab this, or oh, I don't have enough candles, or just whatever. You know what I mean?
or matches.
Or matches, right?
There's the luggable loo, that people take when they go hunting,
Mm-hmm.
and they have all sorts of stuff to go with that, like stuff to help get rid of both the solid and the liquid waste.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
So
I'll tell you what helped us with that hurricane.
yeah.
Was, and they're cheap as shit. You go buy one of those, it's a shower, a camping shower.
Oh yeah, solar powered. I know what you're talking about, hon.
Well, we didn't even
Yeah.
get the solar powered one. Well, yeah, the one you can hang it out.
I
and it
know.
warms up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Or you can boil water on your campfire, and that's what we did. Was we heated our water on the campfire and then poured it in there, and we had a hot shower, and that helped so much.
Yeah. That's something that I think, because like you said, boiling water, I would do for shower and this and that, but drinking it, I don't know that I would still trust it even after I boiled it. I mean, eventually we may have to if we all run out of water. I'm just saying that there's so much spray in that shit.
Yeah, I don't eat meat either, Tom, but I promise you there'll be some fish caught in this lake.
Oh yeah, I mean, got to do sometimes what we're going to have to do, and I don't think there'll be anything wrong with that at that point,
But they do have some. Oh gosh, what do they call those? There's some kind of tablets you can get to put in water.
Yeah. It's like Coleman might have that. I know what you're talking about, hon, because they have stuff like this at sporting goods things too, like the water purification tablets. I know what you're talking about.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you, Mom. I mean, I've seen.
Oh, here's one. Sorry, here's a few things. Like here's one: portable aqua, water purification tablets with PA plus. 2 50-count bottles is $11.95 on Amazon. That's one possibility. I think Coleman might have that. Coleman potable aqua with PA plus from Walmart.
And then too, you have the distilled. There's a distilling method that you can do outside. That's a good one to look into.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking about. Is the Coleman potable aqua with PA plus, $7.76 at Walmart.com. Makes questionable water bacteriologically suitable to drink. No iodine, taste, or color. Treats up to 25 quarts. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the things that because water is one of the things that like you said, you buy, but you don't realize how much you're really going to need for not just consumption. Baths, bathroom, washing clothes. I mean, that's of course if the water's turned off. I mean, I'm imagining a worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But
just for us, I mean, if our electricity goes out, our water's gone.
oh, really? See, we lost. I guess it was. I want to say Sandy or around there. I guess it was Hurricane Sandy or Superstorm, completely geoengineered Sandy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because that was not no perfect storm naturally. But anyway, we lost power for like 11 days, but we had our gas, so we were able to cook, and it was in the summertime, so it was hot as hell, but we weren't freezing. You know what I mean? But we had our gas and we had water running. So
Oh, good.
yeah, so you never really know, but these bastards could just shut everything off. They don't, you know what I mean? It'd just be like, because you don't know, only they know what they're going to do, but because they've done this, like we think. And I know not us, but people think, oh, this doesn't happen. This happens all over the place, all the time. Like you said, where did you say that guy was from? That they just went through this? Ecuador? Is that where you said?
No, Argentina.
Argentina. I mean,
and he's actually on. There's actually okay. Keep on talking, guys, because there's a difference on. Okay, basically on YouTube, there's a video called Argentina at well, it has English subtitles, but Argentina Ahora, AHORA, and then an O, and then a NUNCA. It's like it describes one documentary about how the economic collapse came about and the aftermath of it. So I will link to that on my video.
Yeah. That's because if we understand the pattern, people can see and realize that oh, that's what we're in right now, huh? I mean, I think they did it the same thing to Venezuela, the same thing to Iran. I mean, destruction of the money and the economy, and they just they and they're still in the process of now being a mess.
Right. Well, like this isn't the first time for these camps. I mean, the camps are littered throughout history. It's not the first time that they've killed dissidents.
No,
heads will roll. I mean, it's just that people are like living in some fucking bubble and they don't get, oh, that can't happen here. Yeah, why is that?
Yeah, and think about, like I guess I would go back to scenarios like World War II when they went around and rounded up all the Japanese and put them in internment camps. People allowed that shit and went, that's right. Like that's the mentality that I'm afraid people still have, that whatever they say, that's right. Yeah, they gotta, and you just, how many times are you gonna fall for the same shit and then 20 years go, oh, that was wrong. We learned the truth now. Learn the fucking truth now so it doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? Because these are the things that they're gonna do, and we can see it now. And if it was wrong then, and you've come to that realization, just people need to see they're just playing the same exact thing, and getting people out of fear or out of anger to accept them rounding people up, over and over again.
You should at least be angry at the right fucking thing.
Exactly. I mean, just we don't live in a time where this isn't. We're supposed to be more sophisticated than this in theory. So the fact that it's rearing its ugly head again maybe should get people to go, wait a fucking minute here. I saw that movie. Bullshit. They ain't doing that, or whatever triggers them, to realize that this is the same shit, because it's the same exact thing, just on a grander scale, but it's the same exact thing that they've always done.
The way my husband gets them is he'll use Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Because all the rednecks around here just, oh, my guns. Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm going to come find you because that's one of my favorite movies. And you know what I mean? That I want to be on that. I want to be on that team, on your team.
That's like their wet dream. So he's like, what are y'all going to do? Red Dawn's coming. So yes, if you can even use that kind of thing.
Yes.
Help people make the connection.
I agree, because I mean those those things may be there for subconscious reasons and all these different ways of getting people predictive programming, all that stuff. But for it to work, the truth has to be in there somewhere, or it doesn't work.
Right.
So just pick it out, see it for what it is. I mean, this is. I think we, like you said, it doesn't take so many people. I mean, what was it? 3% of the people actually fought back during the Revolutionary War, and began and sacrifice themselves for that entirety of, yes, I know it was co-opted right away, but the people that rose up to do that did it for the right reasons. The 16-year-old boys, they weren't going to war for oil and stuff, they were going to war. Now, again, we know there was an agenda behind it, but this is the freest that anybody has ever been in this entire civilization. Is this country, like it or not?
I know, and that just slays me. I mean, I've had people, from around the world, and I've had different conversations, and they're like, "Look, we're rooting for you guys."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are just holding our breath that you guys can hold on to it and fight for it and wake the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I mean, it's just heartbreaking.
I know.
Heartbreaking that this many people have been kept in captivity. I mean, it's like People Zoo. We're in the fucking People Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Sadly, like, that's not even an exaggeration.
No, it's not. Look at Sarah the orangutan. She hangs out in her natural habitat. I mean, just fuck all of this rerun.
I know.
I am over it.
Yeah, agreed. And I think, though, like I said, that it's that mentality that's, I know they think everybody's gonna just cave, but
we
I know
talked about it, Tom. We're willing to be first wave, and you're right. If everybody just slinks into the damn thing, I mean, then fuck, it's over now.
Exactly.
I mean, you've got to be able to be willing to live or die for what you hold true. I won't even say believe in.
Correct. Absolutely right. And if being the first wave means not even being here but paving the way for freedom, well, then the job is done.
Walk on my back.
Yes, that's because that's without it, we're just doomed. Without people that are just willing to say fuck you, no. Now what are you going to do?
I did want to say this. Another thing is, we have a grandbaby coming, literally at the end of April, and that has just been. What a time to be born in the midst of this shit.
I know. But it's that love for the life that that you want for your grandkids. That's what we do this for.
That's what we have to fight for.
Exactly. I think that if people could realize it, it's kind of not about us so much anymore. It's about our children, and
and if not us, then who?
Then right, I mean, because all of this will be gone. I mean, if they really realize what the war on your soul means, it's not just this religious little good guy bad guy thing. They're talking about taking the essence that is you and trapping it here for a lifetime of just imprisonment in the body, where you're walking around like, I don't know, the giver, like, hi, Sam. Hi, Joe. How was your day today? Did you have a good day today or a bad day today? My day was good. You know what I mean? Fucking, like, just, and not even realizing.
Red apple?
It's just so true that, and sadly, people don't realize how much the body works and how they understand how the body works, and everybody just kind of blows it off and doesn't understand that all of the stuff that we bring in, our Wi-Fi's and our phones and it just all is poison for the body as well. And as we move to this next thing, forget it. You know, so. Well, I do see the 8:30
Yeah,
mark.
8:30,
Yes,
yeah.
my phone was set to go off at 8:30, so I
So it's probably going off like mad right now. Like,
It
beep,
is.
beep, 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 beep.
It just vibrated next to me, so I'm waiting for the door to open. You know, so.
Well,
But I'm glad we got to, because like I said, I do look forward to this each week because.
same here.
Without it, it's just nice to, like you said, to realize that we're not alone in this. Even though we know we're not, it's nice to hear it. It's nice to feel it. And to realize that people get it, and then maybe as we talk about it, other people will not feel as alone, and then they'll feel more. Just whatever this does for people, even if it just does nothing but make them laugh for an hour. You know what I mean? So whatever it can do. But I would just say to people, please start speaking out, even if not on here, just in your life, because people got to hear this stuff, or they're never gonna.
And if it doesn't work for you, feel free to pass it by.
Right, just everybody
Yeah.
can take their criticism and stick it up there. You know what I mean? That I don't need to hear. But
The place down under Papua in Australia could not help.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I don't turn my comments on. I have no interest in reading. You should do this, or that sucks, or yeah, all right, whatever, dude. I don't want to hear it. So, but anyway, next week we good for next week. Same,
Right, Tom, it was good to hear from you.
Bad time, same bad channel.
Same bad time, same bad channel. It's good to hear from you too, Lisa and Sarah. It's always great to talk to you guys. Have a great week, and hopefully,
prep up, man. Prep up.
Yeah,
I'm prep up more too. I need to get stuff as well. So
I've been motivated to go tomorrow, so
get some apple cider vinegar too.
Yes, that's always a good buy. Always a good purchase.
Weight and gold.
Mm-hmm.
And honey to mix with it, or whatever, like, or stevia or whatever. I don't know.
Well, that helped you with your voice, right? That's what you took, didn't you? Isn't it? Yeah. Nothing else. See.
Yes, Dr. Sarah insisted.
Yes, Dr. Sarah saved the day. But
yes.
we don't want your son to come in here and pop you over the head and like, hey, I'm taking the headphones by force. So
yeah, he's about big enough to do so now. So it goes very quickly. So
okay, talk to you next week, Tom.
Bye guys. Bye Sarah. Bye Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.